I healed my gut. Greetings, health warriors. Teresa here, a licensed clinical social worker and nutrition coach, sharing easy ways for you to eat, move, and live a life of mental and physical wellness over 40 and beyond. See, I was always so bloated, like everything made me bloat, and my stomach hurt all the time. I grew more anxious and more depressed, and I didn't know why or what to do until my daily struggle with severe bloating, gas, questionable bowel movements, increasing episodes of anxiety, irritation, followed by depression, and a lack of energy ultimately led me to the understanding and realization that I had a trashy gut. I had no notion at the time that those antibiotics I was prescribed would do more than cure my illness. That birth control pills that I was taking for premenstrual symptoms were hiding more than just cramps, or eating fast processed foods was causing inflammation. Now I understand that anything that hurts when there's pain, it's inflamed, including the lovely experience of giving birth to 2 humans. You would think that I'd had enough symptoms from gas, bloating, irregular bowel function, body odor, struggle to lose weight, acne along the jawline to, do something to act on that discomfort. But I didn't do that. Instead, I normalized those feelings, walking around smiling on the outside, but feeling anxious, sad, and stressed on the inside. See, I thought that it was just my life and there was really nothing I can do with it. I waved the flag of surrender. I gave up. Then our youngest son was born, bright-eyed and curious. Soon, he started to have health problems very similar to the ones that I was experiencing, and watching him in that kind of pain. See, I was fine doing nothing with my aches and pains, but seeing our son suffer the way he was, it was then when I realized that I didn't want him or his brother to see me walking around in perpetual pain, living a life of fear of the sustenance that food brings. Furthermore, I wanted better for him, and I was willing to do anything and everything because, let me tell you, I adore being a mom to those boys. So began our health journey. I talked to a lot of doctors and specialists and tried various things to repair our guts. Some of them were incredibly healing and life-changing, and I'm not just talking about bone broth, and many of them were a waste of time and money. I'm going to tell you about the 7 things we did to heal our guts. Oh yeah, and by the way, you will hear me say I, but when I say I essentially mean my son and I. We did the same exact things to heal our gut and digestive system. First, I had to quit being so dang on impatient and recognize that my gut needed time and rest to regenerate in order to recover. I had to end my relationship with food that made me feel tired, tight, and constricted in my body and made me, moody. And let me tell you, that was a long list. When it was all said and done, I think I maybe had like 12 different types of food to eat after that food breakup. My meals had to be super simple for 4 weeks. I didn't eat any dairy, gluten, red meat, broccoli, cauliflower, bread, pasta, beans, eggs. I don't really like eggs, but I ate dishes that had eggs in them. No pork, raw fruits, or raw vegetables. I cut out all condiments, ready-made meals, and any food item that had more than 1, sometimes 2, but preferably only 1 ingredient in it. If it had like a laundry list of things in it, it was not going into my body during this time of rest and recovery. It was just like non-negotiable. I had 0 tolerance for it. That first week was so difficult for me because I was so used to eating certain meals. I had those go-to meals. Now I had to step outside of my comfort zone and come up with new ways to eat chicken that didn't have those delectable sauces on it. And I had to resist walking past the fridge and grabbing a couple of grapes just because. I had to get out of autopilot mode and start thinking about food in terms other than satisfaction. Like, how do I use this food as a source of medicine, as a source of healing, and not just because it tastes good or because it makes me feel good, bad. Because yeah, some of the foods I ate made me feel good, bad. It made me feel good in a moment and bad later. And I knew that, and I was aware of that. And that's when that 0 tolerance mentality, that had to come in again and again and again and again. I had to learn how to drink water in a new way during this whole gut healing journey. Imagine my surprise when I learned that it is ideal and best to boil water for several minutes uncovered before actually drinking it, especially when you have stomach distress. Unboiled water feels heavy and takes more digestive strength than available when the gut is already in need of repair. This is a practice that I continue to do to this day, and I notice that my insides feel lighter and less constricted, and I can actually get more water in there without feeling heavy and bloated and waterlogged. And here you are, I bet you thought boiling water was just for tea and coffee. We don't have teeth in our stomach, so why did it require the presence of an inadequate functioning gut for me to recognize the value and healing of appropriately, thoroughly chewing my food? Swallowing partially full chunks of food and expecting my stomach to do the task of the mouth, where a large portion of our digestive enzymes reside, was undoubtedly a contributing element in my gut's need for healing and repair. I had to teach myself to set my fork, spoon, and food down between each bite and chew my food until it was thoroughly liquefied. Not occasionally, but consistently, repetitively. Another benefit of being attentive to my chewing was I overate less. Listen, I had an aha moment. My overeating was me perpetuating self-inflicted trauma. As a therapist, no one comes into a conversation with me asking for ways to create more trauma in their lives. So yeah, that was a whole come to Jesus moment for me. Adding more than what was required, whether it was in the form of food or water, strains the digestive system and slows gut function and healing. You don't have to learn that lesson because I did it for you, okay? So there are so many diverse diets, each with its own set of advantages and disadvantages. And if we think about it and eat according to the seasons or our current health concerns, we will eat some variation of each of those diets at some point throughout the week, the month, or the year. Comforting foods with the consistency of baby food, smooth and nourishing, were optimal for my intestines. Nothing said, here's a loving hug for my intestines, than a bowl of freshly prepared congee. This rice dish includes bits of chopped ginger root. When your gut is acting up, fresh ginger root is the best. Unlike powdered ginger root is not dry and heating post-digestion. And that's important when your gut is trying to heal. You don't want something heating on top of something that's already inflamed. So ginger root, safe, neutral. Use ginger root in your meals as a digestive aid, or make teas with it. Make lots and lots of teas with it. 1 part rice, jasmine rice I prefer, or basmati rice, and 7 parts water. Cook congee on the stove for 2 hours, or in the slow cooker for 6 hours, or like me, in an Instapot for 30 minutes. That was my mainstay and exactly what I needed. Oftentimes, I would add in shredded carrots to help with gas, or black sesame seeds to help with constipation. But each bowl, trust me, was always topped with the inflammation flame cooler ghee. Whew, I cannot say enough about ghee. Actually, I did. I talked about ghee in this video. Remember that inflamed intestines are raw and sore, so adding rough, crunchy, dry foods as well as too much water will irritate, constrict, and dry out our gut lining even more. So think moisture in the form of oils like ghee or sesame seed oil. The proper kind of movement can help with healing. Long, difficult activities like HIIT workouts or heavy weightlifting that place a great deal of pressure on our core, put a hold on those things. My BFF and stress reliever was walking 5 or 10 minutes after each meal. Sometimes my gut would be so inflamed that walking just didn't soothe it. And then I would do a basic restorative sitting position. In yoga, I believe it's called the diamond pose, where you fold your legs back so that your buttocks rest on them with your big toes touching if possible. You can feel free to use a pillow underneath yourself if this position feels a little bit uncomfortable. Place your hands on your knees, keep your back straight, and take some calming deep breaths. Hold this position for 5 minutes or so. That would oftentimes soothe the irritation in my gut after eating. When trying to heal the gut, it's easy to get caught up in all the things that we need to eliminate. For example, I started my diet by limiting it down to about 12 foods. After 4 weeks of limitation, it was time to reintroduce some foods. I read that most people resorted to taking probiotic supplements and eating fermented foods like sauerkraut and kimchi to repopulate that beneficial gut bacteria. But I chose to go a different way. Supplements, just like food, requires digestive capabilities in order to be broken down. This left me thinking, did I really want to and expect my body to accomplish such a digestive goal when it could barely digest food? After returning from my walk after lunch or during the digestive diamond pose, I reintroduced probiotics by drinking a drink called Lassi. Lassi is a probiotic drink that is so simple to make. I just feel better just reaching for the ingredients, which includes 1 cup of room temperature water, 1/4 cup of non-dairy yogurt for me. Add to it a pinch of ground ginger, cumin, coriander, and sea salt. Blend or whisk it up for 1 minute. Yogurt is a good probiotic source, but it is cold and heavy, not something that we want when our guts are in repair mode. And it can actually impede digestion if it is consumed too much or consumed with fruits, according to Ayurvedic science. Adding digestive spices to yogurt and blending the yogurt makes the yogurt lighter, which actually leaves the body feeling lighter and easier to digest. Now, in my haste at the start of my gut healing journey, I was only focused on and searching for foods and supplements to repair my gut. I completely missed the fact that rest and repair, they're twins. I used to have trouble sleeping because I was in so much pain and oftentimes in a lot of tears. I love me some castor oil, and I have maybe done about 3 or 4 videos sharing how I used it to help me relieve my discomfort, dispel gas, soften waste material, and help in the recovery after the removal of a tumor. It also allows me to sleep through the night, which is a plus when your body is going through healing and repair. If you've not tried castor oil or using a castor oil pack, I don't know what you're waiting for. What are you waiting for? Eat well, stay active.